Hi, Adu.
Hi.
Alright, tell me about the U.S. presidents, starting from the first one. Okay?
Do I say them like all of them?
Like, yeah. Tell me who the president was first, and whatever you know, like little facts about them, like one or two facts.
Okay. Our first president was George Washington. He he was the chief of the revolution of the American Revolution. The second president was John Adams. There was another president that died on the same day with him. And that other president was the third president, which was Thomas Jefferson. The fourth president was James Madison. He was the shortest. He was the shortest president. The fifth president was James Madison. James Monroe. He died on Independence Day, but not in 1826, in 1831. The seventh president was Andrew Jackson. He was as strong, he was as hard as a hickory tree. The eighth president was Martin Van Buren. He was the first American president citizen.
Born in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ninth president was William Henry Harrison. He was he had the shortest term of any U.S. president. He only had been president for 1 month.
Really? Okay. What happened then?
Because he died, that's why.
Oh, okay.
The 10th president was John Tyler. He had 15 children.
Wow. Okay.
The 11th president was James K. Polk. His wife hosted the first Thanksgiving dinner in the White House.
Okay.
The 12th president is Zachary Taylor.
Okay.
He was kind of like a mailman.
Madman?
Mailman, kind
Madman.
of.
Okay.
The 13th president was Millard Fillmore. What?
So there is.
The 13th?
No, don't do this.
The
Okay.
13th president was Millard Fillmore. So,
Okay, here. If you don't remember any
he
facts,
was
that's
just
okay.
he was just president for 3 years. I'm not sure about why.
Okay.
The 14th president is Franklin Pierce. They've already lost 2 sons by the time Franklin Pierce ran for president. Their third son was killed in a train 2 months before Franklin Pierce took office.
Okay.
The 15th president is James Buchanan.
Buchanan.
He was the only president that was never married.
Really? Okay.
The 16th president is Abraham Lincoln. He was the tallest president.
And your favorite?
Yeah. The 17th president was Andrew Johnson. He couldn't read till he was 14.
Wow.
He didn't learn to write until after he was married. The 18th president is Ulysses S. Grant. He once was stopped for speeding. So the police took away his carriage and he had to walk all the way back.
I like that.
The 19th president is Rutherford B. Hayes. He had He had the first telephone in the White House made by Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
He called it telephone number 1.
Okay.
The 20th president was James A. Garfield. He was shot in a theater. Well, not in the theater, but somewhere else. Anyway. The 21st president was Chester A. Arthur. He died 1 year after the year that he stopped being president. So he was president from 1881 to 1885. 1 year later, 1886, he died. The 22nd president was Stephen Grover Cleveland. He had 2 terms separated by another president.
Yeah.
The 23rd president was Benjamin Harrison. He had the first light switch in the White House.
Okay.
His wife thought that the lights would shock her, so she never turned them on.
All right. Okay.
And so the 24th was also Grover Cleveland. The 25th was William McKinley. He was supposed to have a second term. He was supposed to have a second term, but he only had 1 term because he was also shot. The 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt and Franklin D. Roosevelt were second cousins.
Okay.
The 27th president was William Howard Taft. He was the biggest president ever. He weighed 332 pounds.
Wow, that's so big.
The 28th president is Woodrow Wilson. He had dyslexia, whatever that word is.
Huh?
Dialect something.
Yeah, dyslexia.
Yeah.
He's stutters when he talks like that. He was not able to talk like fluently. Okay.
The 29th president was Warren D. Harding. He died because of a function. Because I think he had a function.
What is the function?
You don't know what a function is?
Okay.
Anyway. The 30th president is Calvin Coolidge. He became president unexpectedly in the middle of the night when President Harding died.
Okay.
And he was so quiet that people nicknamed him Silent Cal.
Okay.
And I guess at dinner, a guest told him to say 3 words. The 31st president was Herbert Hoover. There's a river, well, probably a dam named after him, and it's called the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
The 32nd president was Franklin D. Roosevelt. He ran for more than 2 terms. He had 4 terms. He was
Right.
elected the most time.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
Okay.
The 33rd president was Harry S. Truman. Franklin D. Roosevelt died on April 12, 1945. April 12, 1945 was when President Truman became president.
Okay.
Also, and the S in Harry S. Truman didn't stand for anything.
It's S. Okay. Okay.
So the 34th president, is Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Eisenhower.
don't know anything about him.
Good. You keep on going.
The 35th president is John F. Kennedy. He was the youngest. He was the next youngest to be elected. Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest.
Okay.
Theodore Roosevelt was 42 when he was elected.
Okay.
John F. Kennedy was 43.
Okay.
When he was 46, he was assassinated.
Okay.
And the 36th president was Lyndon B. Johnson. He wanted to seek for more of something, but he died before the Vietnam War ended.
Okay.
The 38th president,
No,
the 37th president is Richard M. Nixon. He died of a stroke, and he was a president to resign.
Resign. Okay.
The 38th president was Gerald R. Ford. His real name was Leslie something Jr.
Okay.
And he died 1 year after Betty was born in 2006.
Okay.
The 39th president had a very long name. It was James Earl Jimmy Carter Jr. Well, he likes to be called Jimmy.
Okay.
As a boy, he shot his sister Gloria. Of course, he was punished by his father.
Okay.
The 40th president was Ronald W. Reagan.
Reagan.
I keep saying Reagan. Reagan. He was the oldest president at 69.
Okay.
Well, now Donald Trump is the oldest.
I know.
The 41st president is George H.W. Bush. He and George W. Bush are probably related. Yeah.
They are related.
Yeah, they are. The 42nd president is William J. Clinton. He married Hillary Clinton. He was Secretary of the State, and she ran for president 2 times, but she lost both times.
Okay.
The 43rd president was related to George H.W. Bush, which was George W. Bush. People like to nickname him W.D.B.Y.A. to confuse his father.
Okay.
The 44th president was Barack H. Obama. He
He was the first one.
He was the first African American president.
Yes.
And finally, the 45th president was Donald Trump. He started this year in 2017, but he just started being president.